by in a flash. Will this game end in a flash? Will one player take the initiative and push the pace of the game? All these questions going to be answered.
It will be RB Leipzig. A bit from left to right in this game. DullenMike from right to left. Alex, what can we expect from the start in this one?
I think aggressive, free-flowing players, both of them wanting to get that first goal. DullenMike, we've seen it so many times throughout this weekend. I keep mentioning it, aggressive in that press, because that's exactly what his game plan has been. But for Umut, I think he'll look to pick apart that, move the ball around quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get a goal in the first 20-30 minutes of this first leg.
Speaking of the teams, everyone's been speaking about winning formula in these Bundesliga Ultimate Team formats. Pretty similar squads, in all honesty. Can't really see too much of a difference. The same back four has been common throughout this weekend. Lacroix comes in for DullenMike's back line. He prefers to go for the Frenchman alongside Klosterman. Botius, what an impact he's had this weekend. Player that you spoke ever so highly of, Richard. Could be through to make havoc now. Botius could go. He didn't back himself on his own. He was looking for the cut back and he was dealt with well by DullenMike.
I mean, the angle was just a little bit too tight. I don't know about you, Al. I think the pass is probably the better option there. Could have been a skill move, but I think the angle was just a little bit too narrow.
The angle was definitely there, but what you also have to take into account is that if Umut keeps going and possibly looks for that drive, DullenMike is going to cover the pass off across. You take the shot, you're going to test the goalkeeper. You may even find yourself getting a simple tap in, but knocking on the door already from Umut.
Finesse from distance. DullenMike says, yes, please, I'll fancy that one from quite far out. He's a player that always has that extra trick up his sleeve, Richard. He has been very keen at taking shots from distance. This could be a mistake. Goes on his own, massive save, Castells. Very nearly. RB Leipzig was on the back foot there.
I mean, both players in the first, 17 minutes have had quite good chances. The player lock fake was really, really smart. Just trying to create a little bit of pressure in and around the box. And again, this game is looking end to end.
Alphonso Davies this time. Finds his way back to Christopher Nkunku. Florian Wirtz. Umut does well. What a save. Kevin Trapp. Castells down one end. Kevin Trapp down the other. Two massive saves to keep this tie all square. Corner to be played in. And defended well. Alex, what a chance that was.
Huge chance there. Umut deciding not to go for the extra pass. Trying to catch DullenMike out. And he did exactly that. Just the goalkeeper coming out with a huge save. Putting it behind for the corner. But rightly so, as Richard mentioned, chances at both ends, both players taking it to one another.
An electric start here on the Virtual Bundesliga final. We're on the Xbox leg first. This is a cross-console final, remember. And I think, as you gentlemen did allude to, with the pressure being off with playoffs in the bag, we are going to see a bit more of a free-flowing attacking game between these two.
That's what we had thought. That's what we predicted. Obviously, our predictions, well, mine especially, have been horrific throughout the Virtual Bundesliga, but it seems like it's coming true here.
Diaby that time for the cross there for RB Leipzig. There was an interview that these two did conduct before the Bundesliga season did commence the grand finals. They were speaking about each other in terms of, have they played much on the build-up to this? Will we see the cross-console final happen again? They were both pretty kind to each other in the build-up, saying that they're both talented players. They've got a lot of respect for each other. We haven't really played at all outside of this tournament. And one thing that I love, there was a question that said, what skill or which characteristic do you most like about your opponent? And Umut's words to DullenMike was just consistency. Performing well, making finals, somehow making this match happen. 12 months on is ridiculous, Richard, especially with the quality in the Bundesliga and the amount of players now. We saw that firsthand with Chaser and Levy Finn.
Yeah, the quality has been outstanding, but I don't think it's too harsh for me to say, and you might be able to agree with this as well, Al, that these two are very clearly at the top of their consoles. Chance for...
Oh, wow!
Oh, beautiful.
Alphonso Davies does not need anyone else in the question there. Everyone was alluding to a cutback. DullenMike was a ball around the goalkeeper. He left Castells for dead, and just like that, it's the Xbox player on the Xbox console, Alex, that will take the lead just before half-time.
To have the composure there, to draw the goalkeeper out and go, there actually isn't anyone to pass to inside this 18-yard box, so I'm going to ball roll it on the tight angle. Davies, of all people, coming through. We've seen it time and time again, though, with DullenMike using those wing-backs all the way. Just doing so excellent to take it past that goalkeeper. Goals.
Here we go. See it again on the replay. Rich, talk me through it.
Well, it's just the fact that Alphonso Davies picks up the ball out wide. He's clearly looking for a cutback. And as soon as the goalkeeper's coming out, I don't know if he's pulled him out with triangle or Y there, or if it's just the goalkeeper coming off his line himself. It makes his mind up for him, DullenMike. It makes his mind up that, you know what, a ball rolls on here. And then to squeeze it in on the tight angle, you have to tip your hat.
Well, we expect to see this in a cross-console final. The finest of margins being the smallest of levels between these two players. Umut looking to equalise, wins a corner. Unfortunately, won't get to play it, though. Half-time here on our Xbox first leg in the cross-console final of the Virtual Bundesliga. It is SC Freiburg's DullenMike that leads Umut by a goal to nil. Not bad first 45 minutes. I'd say it was pretty end-to-end.
What a game. It's been unbelievable. And I don't know if it's me, but I feel as though there's been more and more people sat behind Umut throughout the course of the day. Is that just a... Am I just seeing that, or has he got one extra person every single round that he's progressed here?
Yeah, he's definitely got more people behind him supporting. And I was just watching that one back. That goal that we saw there from Davies. I don't know if it was just a brilliance from DullenMike, because the cutback looked like it possibly could have been there. There's already chances coming through.
Oh, wow. Could be electric start. But as you were saying, Alex, continue.
The cutback looked like it could have been there, and Umut positioned his defender in a way, because he knew that he'd been beaten. He put that centre-back almost on the line to try and stop the shot coming through from the attacker. And then DullenMike just says, yeah, no, I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do, Umut. I'm going to just take it past the goalkeeper. A moment of brilliance.
Whether there was a coin flip or a decision made about playing on the Xbox first, it so far is working in. Played on the PlayStation regardless, so there isn't really a debate, as there was before, of cross-console finals, having a advantage or disadvantage. Here's DullenMike building for a second. He loves a cheeky finesse from 30 yards out.
Shows the confidence. It just shows the confidence that he's dealing with at the moment. Taking shots like that, taking finesse shots. If he's probably the round before, you might not take that shot on. But now the shackles are off, the playoffs are secured. You can enjoy yourself a little bit as well.
Switch of play. Finds Alphonso Davies, the goal scorer. Could be a chance, Diaby. Umut looking for the equaliser. Where's the cutback? Umut! Oh, so close! He literally did exactly what DullenMike did. It was a cheeky ball roll to open up the chance. There was a slight save / deflection on the shot, and it was just too tight of an angle for Robert Lewandowski to tack it into the back of the net.
It's getting very, very tight all of a sudden. DullenMike under pressure. And because we are playing this first game on Xbox, is a 1-0 defeat a good result, Al, for Umut?
I think, no, in all honesty.
Okay.
And the only reason why I say that is you're going back onto a console. It's not like what it used to be years ago, right? DullenMike's going onto a console that he's still very comfortable on. So you've just got to treat this as the same on both sides of things. And Umut will want to get an equaliser for sure. But the shot cancel coming through past the goalkeeper there, working the byline all the way. Exceptionally well from Umut. Knowing that both players are capable of just producing moments of magic.
This is nice. Does get pushed down. Florian Wirtz back inside Diaby. Find his way through on that occasion. Just a word as well, Alex, on that chance from Umut. Really good chance. Ball rolled the goalkeeper, was so close to making it 1-1.
He actually did even better than a ball roll, Brandon. He went for the shot cancel, which is where you shoot and then you cancel that animation. It's a little bit different to the ball roll. It gets you a tighter angle on it, drawing out the goalkeeper and allowing himself to get round that. And obviously, the shot comes through. Goalkeeper got a little bit of something on it. And obviously, it falls out to Lewandowski, but too tight of an angle.
Final 15 here. You have just tuned in. You've joined us at the perfect time. This is the Virtual Bundesliga Grand Final between these two players who have done so well through Swiss and knockout rounds to get to this stage of being in the Grand Final. So far, so good for DullenMike, who is after revenge after losing last year at this very moment to this very player. And it can find an equaliser to take us into the second leg. It certainly would make things interesting. This is great feet from Nkunku. Still, Christopher Nkunku twisting, turning, keeping him guessing. Diaby with the player to let rip of the shot and defended well.
Allowed him to walk into the box for quite a long time there. I was watching the defensive icon, which he was selected, and he was just all sort of second-man press, sort of shielding the ball, keeping it steady, and just shepherded him into a position where he didn't really want to be. He probably thought, Nkunku, maybe there's a chance to hit it, maybe there's a chance to finesse it, but solid defending, you got to say, from DullenMike.
And is that all she wrote for leg one? Certainly is a game that is still so open here, Alex, as we move over to the PlayStation.
Yeah, there was a chance for Umut as well in one of the previous build-up. DullenMike went for the offside trap and had an opportunity to whip it in, but decided not to go down that. And as Richard rightly said, DullenMike just saying, look, you can walk into the 18-yard box. I know what you want. You want that extra pass. I'm going to use second-man press. Use that AI assistance just there for everybody. Covers off any passes that may be available. Before Umut, he's just got to try and find something out of nothing, albeit a cross, finesse shot, or a moment of magic on the sticks, which we know he's capable of, but just hasn't produced so far in this game.
Last chance of the first leg. Looks to come forward for Diaby. Danny Da Costa back to Kevin Trapp. That should do us for leg one here in the Virtual Bundesliga Grand Finals. It will be an advantage, but only the slightest of advantage to DullenMike, a player that has got a mission to take back that trophy and to lift it for the first ever time in his FIFA esports career. He's had quite a good season so far, and so far. He's been a FUT Champions Cup winner. There's just been one trophy he's been missing, and it's that Virtual Bundesliga. I absolutely love that, by the way. Teammates through the Virtual Bundesliga Club Championship. You see De Gaucho just over the shoulder, Richard, of Umut, offering a few words of encouragement.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just waiting to get underway in this second leg. I do apologise for any slight technical difficulties. If the feed that you're seeing maybe a little bit disrupted. Everything that we're doing is remote. We'll get it ironed out as soon as possible, ready in time for the second leg of action. A solid performance, you got to say, from DullenMike. He's done the job. He's halfway there. Another game that's currently taking place. I'll give you an update very quickly from this game. It's the playoff decider. It finished 2-0 on the PS5. That means going on to the Xbox leg. Levi Finn needs to pull something miraculous out the hat if he wants to take that playoff spot. Talk to me about our grand final, because there is an advantage to DullenMike. On how big that advantage is, we're going to see when we get onto the PS5.
Yeah, I think the key thing for him is that he just looks so in control. There was a few chances here and there for Umut. But having that 1-goal lead, we spoke about it before, that 1 goal isn't a lot in competitive FIFA. When you have that 90 minutes, Umut will just want to build on a little bit of confidence going into that. But DullenMike, so far, has performed his game plan to an absolute T, reducing Umut to limited chances, allowing, yeah, you can walk into the 18-yard box. I know what you want. I'm not going to allow you to skill cancel your way through. Obviously, had that one big chance with that byline. But for both of these players to get that victory and be crowned a VBL champion, they're just going to need to produce that little bit more, just believe in themselves that little bit more in attack, Brandon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As we saw, well, last time they played last year, it only ended 3-1. We thought maybe we'd see more goals or less. At the moment, it has been a very tight affair so far. We're going to go to a break now. When we get back, we'll have leg 2 here. We're jumping over from Xbox to PlayStation in the Virtual Bundesliga Grand Finals live in Cologne. Who will lift the trophy in Germany? We'll find out in a few minutes' time. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back to the Virtual Bundesliga. It is Grand Final time, part 2. We've done the Xbox leg, which did end by 1-0 for DullenMike of Freiburg, and now it's the time of the current Virtual Bundesliga champion, RB Leipzig Umut, who will be back to his home console, some will argue, but to be honest, it's not really much of a difference for DullenMike. He's played most of the season this year on a PlayStation 5. Myself, Brandon Smith, Richard Buckley and Alex Bowden guiding you through the call of this one. Hopefully, much more to come in this second leg, Richard.
Yeah, we're getting back underway. It's one of those games where we were just talking off camera a little bit, waiting for the game to start. And Umut, we weren't overly impressed, we've got to say, by his performance in that first leg. And I think if he performs to that similar standard again, DullenMike looks like he could be the one. And I was reading a few comments in the Twitch chat in between the GGs, they were agreeing.
Oh, certainly will be. Difficult game to turn around. Back to goal, Paulinho for DullenMike. Was you impressed by DullenMike's performance in leg 1, Alex?
Yeah, he's very calm, and the chances he created, the one that he had, it came out of nothing, essentially. Having that confidence to go for that, we saw the finesse shots from range as well. He has been playing with confidence throughout the day and as the tournament goes on. But as I said, I was a little bit more disappointed with Umut. I think he just, right now, isn't producing enough. He's not triggering runs. He's not wanting players to penetrate that back line. He's not looking to take the game to Dullen. It's almost like he's banking on a DullenMike mistake, which, as it stands, he's not going to give him.
Needs to be a bit more proactive.
Yeah.
Could be an electric start here from DullenMike. Cut back inside. 2-0. Robert Lewandowski will get DullenMike underway on his so-called away console. 2-0. He leads. They're in shock. He's not. It's one-way traffic at the moment, and Umut is going to have to seriously bring out a huge performance in this second leg, Rich, if there's any chance of turning this one around.
Well, it was two elements of that goal that have made it so successful. The Lacroqueta pass. Then also, I don't know if you thought this as well, Al, the positionings which he's shot with Lewandowski, typically you'd see another pass across the box. It's come to him a little bit far out, and he just hit it. Beautiful strike across the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and also, we literally said a minute ago about how Umut is being reactive. He's not being proactive. That's where, if you take a leaf out of DullenMike's book, he literally just said, I'm sprinting to that byline, the Lacroqueta cancel pass, back off to Lewandowski. As we look at the highlight, no bit of, I'm not sure if I want to go for a pass here. He knew full well, as soon as he laid that ball off across, it's Lewandowski, pull the trigger from that angle, ask the question, and you get rewarded for it.
Didn't even need to think that or second guess. This is a difficult one now for RB Leipzig's Umut. The only defeat he's tasted in this tournament was in round 1 of Swiss yesterday, where he lost 6-5 against Denny. Other than that, for the current Virtual Bundesliga champion, it's been plain sailing in terms of results that he's had. He now has to come back with the performance of all performances. DullenMike, though, just looks like he's in a different gear right now. Certainly, there's a fire in his belly that more than ever he'll be thinking about last year's result losing in this very stage, how he felt afterwards.
Again, though, Brandon, I'm going to go out and say it. I do think, yes, DullenMike's playing really well, but Umut's not showing up so far in this cross-console grand final. He's playing almost within himself. I don't think that's been too harsh on him, Al, either.
No, I don't think it's been too harsh at all. I think the way we see it, DullenMike is playing his own game right now. He's not overthinking the situation. He's not overcomplicating it. He's doing what he's been doing all day today, which is pressing, going forward, backing himself in front of goal. While it's Umut, he's just saying, Dullen, I need you to make a mistake. He's not doing that. And for Umut, he really needs to find an extra gear if he wants to beat a DullenMike right now, which is full of confidence.
Well, you'd ask for what more he needs as a wake-up call to get going. Here's Umut now. Can't find Nkunku, who's hiding behind the defender there. 2-0 down. We've criticised Umut so far of not providing enough going forward. DullenMike's so good at this, though, just getting the ball and just keeping it ticking, keeping possession moving. He's so good at taking those extra minutes and seconds out of the tight. Diaby looking for goal 3. Double tap pass into Lewandowski was a good idea. A third of this game gone as it stands. DullenMike is on track to be the Virtual Bundesliga champion.
And he's doing it in all the right ways. He's got those goals. He looks dominant and he looks dangerous when going forward. But the possession and control he has over this tie right now is for everyone to see.
Kalaguteri. Lewandowski. Nearly teed that one up the perfect way. Here's a chance for Umut now. Florian Wirtz looking to drive this forward. In it goes towards the back post. This needs to happen. Numbers back for DullenMike. Just was sort of put in a difficult position there, Alex, where he had to make a decision, and although it wasn't the greatest shot, he wins a corner.
It's the first mistake that we've actually seen from DullenMike throughout these 2 legs so far. Stepping up real heavy with Da Costa, pulling him out of position and giving Umut half a chance.
Steps across, defends well. You're looking at the best Xbox and PlayStation player this year from the Virtual Bundesliga. It's the first time they've met all season long because they are on opposite consoles. Nkunku, Paulinho, Bellingham building up another chance for Freiburg. A big switch of play. You'd like to say DullenMike should get through to half-time here without conceding.
Yeah, you would. I mean, the way that he's just knocking this ball around fullback to fullback, you nearly cursed him for a second as that ball did get taken off him, but happy to take the throw in. He's just cruising. That's the easiest way to say it at the moment. He's coasting and cruising to a championship title.
Last chance of the half. Paulinho. Is there one more pass? Yes, there is. DullenMike is in dreamland in Cologne, Germany. He's 45 minutes away from being a German champion.
What a goal. What a goal it was. Right on the stroke of half-time. The perfect time to score. It's all about the patience, the build-up play, and then the extra pass. I feel as though we've repeated ourselves a lot over the last couple of days, Al, but the extra pass, again, proving so strong.
Yeah, there was a bit of a change of tempo in the middle, just speeding it up, knowing this was going to be the last attack of that half, and then patience, finding the pass into the striker, and Diaby is there. The goalkeeper movement tried to come through from Umut, but if you give a player the chance to get that extra pass off, there's always going to be a man available. There's always going to be that runner. You can just see here, laying the ball out to Bellingham, too easy to find Paulinho, and Diaby slots it away, easy as you like. Emotions coming out now for DullenMike, knowing Brandon, he is 45 minutes away from becoming the VBL champion.
Just called out for a second as well that the glance of Umut, sort of like there was potential tears in his eyes of the situation he's in now. Can only save himself. 3-0 down. He needs the half of the season to turn this one around, Rich.
It's going to be a massive, massive ask, just for the simple fact as well that, I feel as though we might be a little bit too harsh, but we're not. He's having his worst game of the tournament right now. Other than that loss that he suffered in the first game, he has been relatively flawless throughout this tournament. It's not clicking for him right now.
Cheeky chip over the top, Diaby. Nearly was clear. Referee says no foul in that one. But it is sort of a strange situation. You're absolutely right, Richard. It hasn't been a good performance at all from Umut. When does it get to a stage, Alex, where we have to throw more bodies forward for Umut and he has to say, you know what, plan B and C are out the window, we've got to go for plan F?
I was just about to say that something has to change for Umut, regardless of it even being 3-0 across the two legs. There has to come a point throughout this game where you just say, you know what, the formation I'm using, the play style that I'm going for just isn't working. And you maybe could have seen that after the first leg. We said how DullenMike was so dominant, and it's no surprise to see him grab those extra goals because Umut doesn't really seem like right now he could create a single clear-cut chance. Maybe that'll come back to haunt me, but
can't get on the ball, look.
He just can't get on the ball. He can't do anything. And pause needs to come in. A tactical change, mental change has to come through.
67% possession for Freiburg. It should have potentially been 4-0 there. Lewandowski stopped in his tracks by Umut. But mentally, just doesn't seem to be in this final Umut.
This is as good as it gets, by the way. This is an outstanding performance from DullenMike.
Also as well to say that, yes, Umut hasn't been at the races, but a lot of that does also come down to DullenMike with the control on the game, like you see here, with that heavy press, not allowing Umut to even build up on a quick counter-attack. Dullen's saying, I'm fine for you to build up against my 9-10 men that are going to be behind the ball. I back myself in the defensive areas, and then when he has the ball, he's making it so difficult for Umut.
He just can't create.
He can't create, but look at that again, Richard. That's twice where DullenMike loses the ball, and within 1 second, he has the ball back.
Well, you could seal it now. Bellingham, good feet. Slightly too good. He still gets on the ball. There's not even been an effort of a pause come in here from him.
Shows how hard it is as well, Bandon, to obviously 20 minutes left to go, but...
Hello.
Hold on.
Here's a chance. Florian Wirtz, you have to score. That's your chance and that's your title. Unfortunately gone.
Huge, huge opportunity. You even said it, Al, earlier. He's playing on a DullenMike mistake. That was the mistake there, and he's just not capitalised on it.
Not capitalised, and straight away, though, you saw DullenMike and his coach just say, take a breather, that's fine. We got away with that one. You cannot allow Umut to have another chance like that. You've done so well. The 4-2-4 coming through, and this is actually a big moment in this game. Yes, Umut has 3 goals to chase. DullenMike is using that 3 at the back. As soon as you change to a 4-2-4, you have 1 extra man. The key is Umut needs to be quick on the counter-attack. He needs to beat the press from DullenMike, and then he has that 1 extra man. Whether DullenMike changes anything from this, who knows? But Umut making the right tactical change. It's just possibly, Brandon, a little bit too late.
I mean, he already did cue the 4-2-4. You can just see the packed booth of RB Leipzig. Coaches, De Gaucho's there on the left-hand side. You can't quite see it, but every booth's got a monitor. She's just got the same players, POV there. The 4-2-4, 20 minutes to play. Double change. Haraguchi and Haaland will come on. DullenMike is in an unbelievable position here with a 3-goal cushion that he shouldn't throw away. Especially with not much time left in this one as he looks to go forward. There are gaps appearing now. Diaby could be through. Is he onside? He could conclude the tie for DullenMike to be a German champion this year in the Virtual Bundesliga. 4-0. He leads in this cross-console final.
What a performance. DullenMike. It's really been the perfect final performance. And you see that outpour of emotion just as he scored the goal. You know how much it means to him. You know how much that goal takes a weight off his shoulders, because it's near on impossible to score 4 goals in 15 minutes.
Near on impossible indeed, but coming away from the corner there for DullenMike, using Gomez on that counter, finding Diaby, and another chance here, Brandon.
Could be 5. Diaby. It's party time for Freiburg. Heartbreak last year in this very moment where he lost to Umut in the cross-console final. 12 months on, he will be a German champion, a FUT Champions Cup winner on 2 different occasions. There was always a trophy and there was always a title that was missing from his accolade list. The Virtual Bundesliga. He can tick that next to his name this year. The headset is off from Umut, the controller is down. I think you can say that's a GG. It will not be a 2-time win for RB Leipzig. They may have had the club championship, but it will be DullenMike that gets the last laugh in the Virtual Bundesliga cross-console final. 40,000 euros richer. And he's done it, Rich. He came with a plan. He came for revenge. He's got both.
He came, he saw, and he has conquered. Cue the celebrations, because DullenMike is your 2022 Virtual Bundesliga champion.
You can see the emotions coming through. Means so much to the man, especially after getting that revenge against Umut. Speaking to him at the Team of the Season Cup, Brandon, he was so disappointed to go out on penalties in that 2v2. 1v1 this time, though, going all the way. And what a performance. Umut limited across the 2 legs to 1, arguably 2 chances. You can see what that means to Umut. Very disappointed. But either way, what a final.
I mean, come on, let's talk about this in the bigger picture as well, guys. DullenMike, 47th he sits in Eastern Europe on the FIFA E rankings. By his own accounts, has not had a season to remember in terms of FGS online qualifiers. He hasn't been at his best. He hasn't been playing his top quality FIFA. But he had 2 probably big things he's been focusing on. 2v2 FIFA in the FGS Open this year and the FGS Team of the Season Cup. And this tournament here, Richard. This was his last chance, his only chance of getting to the playoffs in a FIFA E World Cup. He's done both, and he will be going there to London in July as a Virtual Bundesliga champion.
Just goes to show how difficult it is to defend this trophy. The level of quality per player, per region, Germany is right up there. If you take a sample size of all the FIFA quality in Germany, it's maybe top 2, top 3, maybe even the top in all the world. The amount of talent in this region is unbelievable. And that man right there, DullenMike, is at the top of the tree.
Well, you have to feel for Umut. Could have had the chance to go back-to-back German champion this year. He's in tears quite naturally at heartbreak at the Champions League a week ago, Alex. Unfortunately, it's heartbreak again this time round in the Virtual Bundesliga.
Yeah, he's going to be very disappointed with that performance there, and he's the one that's going to be looking back on that and just saying, what went wrong for me? How could I have done better? How could we have become victorious? Whether it was a case of Umut just not reaching the levels that he has done so far that weekend, or was it just that DullenMike just unbeatable in that final? I don't know whether you play that over 100 times, whether you get that same result, because he just reduced a player of Umut's quality to next to nothing. Yeah, to nothing. And that's so difficult to do. We spoke about who we thought was going to win prior to this. And as you said, Richard, DullenMike is the man to do so.
It really is such an amazing performance from Dullen, and he deserves that, Brandon.
Well, a moment he's waited so long for. Was a runner-up last year in the Virtual Bundesliga for the 2022 season. SC Freiburg have their man. DullenMike will be the Virtual Bundesliga champion. Playoff secured, 40,000 euros secured, and another trophy to add to his incredible list he already has at such a young age in Germany. He finally has his moment.
He's won on the European scene. He's dominated the globe But he's always eluded him, this trophy. The German Championship, the Bundesliga title, he's always eluded him. And finally he gets his hands on it. And I also have to say, he's not the only player celebrating. Because Levi Finn won the second leg 4-1. Levi Finn is going to the playoffs. And he will be joining Umut and DullenMike from this German region, from the Virtual Bundesliga. Congratulations, Levi Finn, as well.